Is he all right?
I wouldn't say so, no. He's a priest, like.
Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 most iconic Derry Girls moments.
Look at this, the bomb on the bridge apparently.
No.
Suspicions were raised when a hijacked van...
Oh, dear God, no. Does this mean they can't get to school?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most hilarious and memorable scenes from the Four Girls and the Wee English Fella. Let us know in the comments which scenes you quote every day. Number 10. Bridie's earrings. Following Aunt Bridie's untimely death in the midst of a family wedding reception, everybody believes Mary laid a curse on her.
Drop dead, you spiteful old hag!
Mary didn't do this. Probably. But they go to the funeral anyway, at which point Mary and Aunt Sarah make a harrowing discovery. It's a traditional open casket funeral, and Bridie is wearing a pair of expensive earrings that belong to their late mother.
They're Mammy's. She's wearing Mammy's earrings. So they are. How did she get them? She probably swooped in like a vulture before Mummy drew her last breath.
They decide they can't let those earrings go 6 feet under and try to steal them back, getting caught in the act by their cousin Eamon, played by guest star Ardal O'Hanlon. And they burn even more bridges in the family.
For God's sake, Mary. First the curse, now this.
You said there was no curse.
I didn't want to make you angry, Mary. I mean, I'm about to bury my mother. A hex is the last thing I need.
Number 9. Mayonnaise. Every week, without fail, the Quinn household gets fish and chips from the best chip shop in Derry. But when looking to get cash from the school trip, Michelle steals the shop's notice board. They're tasked with making it up to the frightening owner by cleaning.
You will never guess what she's done this time, Erin. Did she nick the notice board from the chip shop, Clare?
Unfortunately, they're not very good at cleaning and accidentally cover the surfaces in mayonnaise and make a huge mess.
Oh, I see. Yeah, this isn't Winderly. This is mayonnaise.
Worse, Michelle inadvertently starts a fire. Mary and Sarah arrive to help them cover up the crime, and they decide to stage a break-in and blame the provost for the damage. Fignola, however, doesn't buy it at all, and they're doomed to weeks of pizza. Number 8. The Child of Prague.
There we are. There's a great fella altogether.
I still don't get what it's supposed to be.
It's Jesus' away.
Why's he got a big red hat on?
Nobody knows.
It's time for Sister Michael to hand over a statue of Jesus called the Child of Prague to another school in Derry's Catholic diocese, though she refuses and the statue remains in her office. Meanwhile, the girls become enamoured with their new, inspiring English teacher, Mr. Brune. Mr. Brune leaves after a few days, but the girls, believing Sister Michael has sacked her, decide to kidnap the Child of Prague and hold him to ransom to bring her back to the school.
Great. I'll write the ransom note.
We need a copy of today's newspaper.
Why?
It's just a dumb thing, kidnapping-wise.
James and Michelle argue and the statue goes on the floor, knocking his head off. Then, of course, Orla glues the head back on, upside down.
To be honest, sister, and I'm not just saying this, I think he looks better.
He looks like his head's on upside down.
Number 7. Unaccompanied bag.
What's in the suitcase, Michelle?
Vodka.
You brought an entire suitcase full of vodka.
No. There's mixers as well, not a savage.
More Sister Michael. When the girls sneak away so that they can go to Belfast and see Take That, who else happens to be on the bus with them?
Look, I don't want anyone recognising me, okay?
No one's gonna recognise you, Claire.
Claire Devlin, is that you?
Jesus Christ.
She spots them at the back of the bus, despite Claire's dicey disguise, and starts grilling them about why they're going to Belfast. When she tries to sit down, she encounters the massive red suitcase full of vodka Michelle has brought, which the group promptly deny all knowledge of.
Let me be clear, no one can claim this bag. Is that correct? I think we have a code red on our hands. Driver, pull over.
This means they're on a bus in Northern Ireland in the 1990s with a very heavy bag nobody wants to claim, and as such, the British Army gets called in for bomb disposal. Number 6. Guess Who? The gang is heading to Portrush on the train one weekend when the weather's nice. The kids are in a separate carriage and encounter a frightening man whose bag is swapped with James's bag they later find contains £1,000 in cash, a gun and a balaclava.
This isn't my bag.
Are you sure?
Unless I forgot the fact that I packed a shit ton of cash and a gun.
Elsewhere, Sarah and Mary have run into a woman they know from childhood, but whom they don't remember.
Who was that?
No idea. Don't know her from Adam.
Then why did you pretend that you did?
We could hardly break the girl, Jerry.
They're almost forced to come clean until Mary finally identifies her as Ideen O'Shea, who's actually been in prison for years.
Didn't she get banged up?
Sarah, really?
She's in prison.
She's not anymore. But a 10-year stretch does wonders for the old figure.
It turns out the bag with the gun is hers as well, and that Orla has stolen her crisps, putting her in a rage directed right at James.
Is he pointing at you, son?
Oh, God.
Where's my crisps? You owe me a packet of crisps.
Number 5, revision. Once again, Clare proved she was one of the show's most relatable characters, having an absolute meltdown over their chaotic last-minute revision session. Erin's distracted because of the loss of her pet dog Toto, frustrating Clare, who has been downing energy drinks for hours.
I'm sorry, Claire. Has his sudden tragic death interrupted your studies?
Well, it has a bit actually, yeah.
When Michelle opens the curtains to reveal it's the morning and the sun is shining, Clare loses it.
Sweet suffering Jesus, it's the morning already. What are we gonna do?
She realises they've barely covered any Irish history, which is James's fault, obviously.
Well, I can't tell my rebellions from my risings.
And whose fault's that? If your lot had stopped invading us for 5 fucking minutes, there'd be a lot less to wade through.
Later in the episode, she even believed she saw a statue of the Virgin Mary smirking because she was so out of it, leading to a ridiculous comedy of errors.
I saw with my own eyes.
So what?
She smirked.
Who? Big M?
Aye.
Number 4, who do you think you are? Derry Girls is no stranger to a musical performance, often bringing in their hits of the time. This episode in Series 3 was no exception. Father Peter organises a Stars in Their Eyes competition, and the girls arrive dressed as the Spice Girls to perform Who Do You Think You Are?
Ginger, baby, sporty, scary, and posh. Tonight, Matthew, we're gonna be the Spice Girls.
It features James as a posh Spice, Erin as Ginger Spice, minus that iconic Union Jack dress for obvious reasons, with Michelle, Orla and Clare as Scary, Sporty and Baby Spice, respectively.
The race is on to get out of the bottom. The top is high, so your roots are forgotten.
It was a great return to another iconic moment at the talent show, where the others get on stage in solidarity with Orla's step aerobics routine. Number 3, Across the Barricade.
As some of you may know, I took a bit of a sabbatical last year.
Do you mean when you shacked up with a slut hairdresser, but then she dumped you?
Miss Mallon, please. Raise your hand if you want to ask a question.
A retreat is organised by Father Peter to bring the Catholic all-girls school and Protestant all-boys school together. And the first thing they're asked to do is list the things they have in common.
Someone else. A similarity. Yes.
Protestants are British and Catholics are Irish.
So that's actually a difference. Quite a big difference.
All they can think of is a massive list of everything that makes Catholics and Protestants different, much to Father Peter's frustration. The interactions between Sister Michael and the Protestant headmistress were solid gold as well, as they clearly both dislike Father Peter and think that mixing the kids is a waste of time.
Why is everyone so desperate for them to mix? I think we should keep them separate.
I think we should keep them in cages.
But it turns out they all have far more in common than they first realised. Number 2, Clare comes out. Given its subject matter, Derry Girls will often bring in far more serious and heartfelt moments. One great scene happened in the Series 1 finale when Clare came out as a lesbian to Erin.
This was written by a girl. A real-life lesbian walks among us.
I don't really believe in lesbians.
This is perfect. We'll just print this.
Come on, Erin, you can't do that.
Erin's seized control of the school newspaper and has been championing LGBT acceptance in public to boost her popularity. But behind closed doors, she doesn't have a great reaction to Clare.
Erin, it's me. I'm the wee lesbian.
I so you are, Claire.
I'm not joking.
You're a lesbian.
But thankfully, that quickly changes, and they all make amends when they come to Orla's aid during the talent show.
She might be a dick, but she's my dick!
Actually, she's our dick.
And all of the days and the nights.
By series 2, they're all wearing rainbow pins in solidarity with the wee lesbian. Number 1, Sister Declan. One of the first episode's scenes is still one of the greatest of all time. After getting into an argument with a younger student on the school bus, Sister Michael gives the gang detention, overseen by elderly nun Sister Declan.
If anyone deserves to get punished, it should be Michelle.
Well, I think it's safe to say we all just lost a bit of respect for you there, Claire.
Sister Declan takes Erin's diary, Michelle's lipstick, and still refuses to let James go to the loo.
I'm taking my lipstick back.
Michelle, you can't do that. It's stealing. She stole it first. Michelle, don't.
However, she later falls asleep and chaos reigns. James is forced to relieve himself in the classroom, Michelle and Erin take back their possessions, and Orla discovers Sister Declan has actually died.
It's funny how she sleeps with her eyes wide open, isn't it?
What?
Sweet suffering Jehovah.
Sister Michael walks in on quite a scene, and the girls are accused of killing a nun.
Did you kill that wee nun, girls?
Of course we didn't. Then why were you pissing on her dead body and making sandwiches?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.